Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to winter. It's a glorious day. Look at that blue sky. It's not very cold, actually. It's only about -10 this morning, and there's lots of hoarfrost, lots of moisture in the air. Let's go for a little walk. Now, since the last video, you'll see we got the steel bars in the ground and the rope up around the water here, because right there by the little dock is about 8 feet deep in the center, so we certainly don't want a nagaroo going in there. So yeah, this side of winter isn't bad. Well, let me show you something else that ain't quite so nice. We hang our washing outside to dry as much as possible, and this is what I had to get into this morning. That's a pair of my jeans, frozen solid. And there's my intimates, my boxers, my towel, my jeans, my pillowcase. You think she's trying to tell me something? So if you think you're having a bad morning, try getting into a pair of jeans straight out of our dryer. In today's video, we're going to take a look at our solar system. And we're not talking about the sun, the moon, the stars, and planetary alignment, although all men know that...
For goodness sake, get on with it.
Planetary alignment is very important.
Not to us women. No.
We started down the solar road about 15 years ago. We sold our first property and moved way up north, up near the 60th parallel, up against the Northwest Territories border. We went into a property that never had electricity, so we put together a system that would work for us. Something died. So the first system we had was a real good setup. We got some 2-volt batteries from a government nuclear bunker at Red Deer that was being decommissioned. So we had a huge battery bank, a good system, and we experimented with generators. Starting with a little Honda generator going right up through big diesel generators, and one of them we even managed to run on waste vegetable oil. Remember that?
Oh yes, and then when you go outside you could smell French fries cooking.
You're always hungry because you could smell the French fries coming out the exhaust.
Yeah.
So let's go now and just take a quick look at what's left of that system. And really the power board is the only thing that's left. The batteries are long gone. So let's just go take a quick look at that now. Now this is what we started out with. And we first started researching this many years ago, and I decided when I was going to build a system, I'm going to build it right. So this is what we did. This is a trace engineering system. There is a 40 amp charge controller running Siamese DR series 2400 watt inverters, running through a DC disconnect and AC disconnect boxes for the generator and the panels. Now we were running 800 watts of panels on this system. It is a 24 volt system. And to be honest, this is total overkill, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the system worked very well. In fact, this thing would put out enough juice to run a 220 volt electric clothes dryer off our solar system. Total overkill. So that's what we started out with. And the system worked very well for us. We managed fairly comfortably, and we were running a full-size house on that system. 3 young children, the microwave, the full-size fridge and the freezer, washing machine, with a household furnace that was running too. Even though we had 3 alternate sources.
Wood burners.
Wood burners, yeah. We still had a propane household furnace, forced air in the basement, just in case, or whenever we went away, the house was safe. But that experience taught us that it's not necessarily what you want to run on a system, it's what you don't need. And that's what's so important to figure out. So when we started calculating, we used the usual checklist to figure out what we needed. Well, a fridge, a freezer, a washing machine, a furnace, and so you build up what you need for capacity. Nowadays, we do it the other way around. It's what we don't need. We don't need a microwave. We don't need this, that, or the other. And we've pared down our needs to the point now that our system is very, very basic and it works perfectly for us. But back in the early days, it was very, very difficult to get information. When we were out driving around, if you saw a solar panel, it's like, holy mackerel, there's a naked woman over there. Oh my God, you know, we've got to look at...
Again?
So it was difficult to get information to build your system the way it should be built. Now we run a very small generator, a little 3,500 watt or 3,000 watt Honda generator. We do have still the electric fridge freezer, although I think we would go propane.
Yeah, propane is the best.
Definitely for a fridge freezer combination, go propane. We still have a full-size washing machine, which you need. People say, well, would you put more panels? Well, no, we would not. Where we are now, we have very good wind power available. So we would definitely, I think, go...
Oh yeah, wind generator.
Wind generator is next. Yeah. And not so much the solar. One other thing you need to bear in mind is that when you start into dealing with batteries, you do need to have the right equipment. And in all honesty, really all you need is a good battery tester. So let's take a look now at what we use for a battery tester and how a battery can fool you if you are only using a voltmeter. You do need the right tools. Let's go take a look. So let's talk a moment about batteries. We are using these 8D industrial commercial batteries with the post type tops. This is your regular 8D. We do have a couple of bus batteries in there with a slightly different connection. We'll show you those in a moment. These are rated from 180 to 220 ampere hours. They're heavy, about 130 pounds. And we have had good luck with them. We buy them as used batteries, recycled. List price on them is around 220 to 250 bucks thereabouts, depending on the quality of the battery. What I wanted to show you here was this battery tester. This is your right arm in dealing with batteries. These sell for around the $30 to $40, $20 on sale, cheap and cheerful. Very important tool. I have seen people test batteries with a voltmeter, which is totally ridiculous because it does not show you the true condition of the battery inside. So if you're going to be dealing with batteries, grab one of these and I'll show you why. So what I want to show you here is that, as I say, these are recycled batteries. They do come with a warranty of sorts at $80 a piece. It can't be much. Now you'll see here it's showing about 13 volts on the battery tester, and when we put the load on, it's staying up there. Now let's just go and take a look at some of the batteries we've taken out just recently. Okay, so we've hooked up our tester onto this battery and it's showing about 12.5 volts, which is not too bad, or so you think. You put the load on and watch what happens. It collapses. That shows that there is some damage, probably a short in the battery. And so from our batteries, let's go take a look at the rest of our system. The whole object here is to prove that you do not have to spend a lot of money to build a system that works. Our system runs on a shoestring. It's reliable. The last 2 years we've been running on this and it works. So let's go take a look. And so this is what it looks like. We've got 8D batteries set up to provide 12 volts, about 1600 ampere hours is what we're getting out of these. It's running through a simple little 3000 watt inverter. We've got the big battery charger set up here. It's giving 35 amps when the generator is running. Then up on the roof there's 350 watts of panels running through this 30 amp Coleman charge controller. 13.5 volts. And it's getting late in the day today, so the sun is going down. 6.7 amps is all we're getting today. Usually it's around 13 to 15 amps when the sun is right up there. But this will take care of us all night tonight. Very simple system, cheap and cheerful. Pretty much doing everything we should not, but it works. Now these little inverters, they're sold by Canadian Tire up here in Canada. They're called the Eliminator. I don't know if they're even available anymore. But they're a $500 inverter. 3000 watt peak, 2500 continuous load. And these things are absolutely amazing. I did blow this one up once by making a reverse connection on it. And I heard a large popping noise from inside. So I thought, well, that's the end of that. Took it apart. And these things are built loaded with fuses, bus fuses inside. So changed all the fuses because it did blow every one of them. Connected it up, hit the button, and it's working 100%. Very, very good. Extremely good. So if you can lay your hands on something cheap and cheerful like this, don't be afraid of it. Now this charge controller that I mentioned is only 30 amp. It's only good for about 450 watts of panels. I've seen them use far more than that and stand up, but still quite affordable, easily available, very, very good. So here we are with our battery bank, and you can see your standard issue 8D battery, and up above I got two of those bus batteries. Now these are exactly the same battery, roughly 200 ampere hours. Slightly different connection system, but for us it doesn't matter. We can adapt our cables and they work very, very well. And it's $60 a battery, or even $80 a battery. How can you possibly go wrong? We are currently, over the past 2 years, we have averaged 3 batteries a year. Because let's face it, these are used batteries. They're second-hand. We don't know the story behind them. I prefer these bus batteries because they are in regular service. They never get really run down. They're kept charged up, whereas a commercial battery that may be in an earth-moving machine is subject to vibration, shock loadings and things like that. So when you start looking at building a battery bank out of something like this, and even though these are not deep cycle or in any way really suited to our types of use, it works. So
you know?
There we are. That's what we're running now. Over the years we've done both, the expensive system and the shoestring system. And to be honest, we've had just as many issues with the cheap one as with the expensive. And in all truth, it's really nothing. If you are thinking about going off-grid and doing it on a shoestring, talk to people. Talk to people who are doing it, not necessarily to the manufacturers or the salesmen of the systems. Talk to people who are running it, have been doing it for years, and are perhaps in a similar situation to what you may need. Don't go overboard. That's what we learned.
Oh, that's what we did.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah, we did, you know. Create a system that you can expand or reduce that works for you. Definitely the fridge freezer. Go propane. Definitely. Yep. It's quite a bit of money up front. What, about
5,000?
$5,000 now for a real good full-sized household fridge freezer. That's a lot of money. You spread that over 20 years though, then it starts to look a little different. And they do hold their value amazingly well if you do decide to get out of it. LED lights, obviously now everything is LED, and it can be done on a shoestring. If you're heading down this road, down the solar road, the chances are you'll never want to come back. So there you are. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below if there's anything you'd like to add. Do check out our Alternate Nutters blog. I'll leave a link to that below. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you like, or not. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now. Oh, tea time.
Oh, yes.
Cheers. Bye for now.
How's that?
Good. Okay. Good.
Good.
And if you were out driving around and you saw a solar panel and you just hit the brakes and holy mackerel, look at that over there, you think it was a naked woman. But
You look at naked
well, I
women?
must admit there are some very, very nice solar panels out there. Today is much easier. Today is much easier. More information available to you.
I was lost for words.